On the drifting Arctic ice, two forces of nature meet, each shaped by the cold, each built for survival. The polar bear, a solitary hunter, embodying strength and endurance perfectly adapted to a life spent traversing the vast frozen sea. Its counterpart, the walrus, a colossal and social creature. Resilient and armed with formidable tusks that serve as both tools and weapons. In the immense, unforgiving expanse of the Arctic, where the line between life and death is drawn by the harsh realities of energy, conservation, and opportunity, these two giants of the North occasionally find their paths crossing. Their encounters are not battles of raw aggression, but complex ballets of strategy, instinct, and a deep, ingrained respect for the power of the other. The polar bear's existence is a testament to predatory perfection in this icy realm. It relies on a keen sense of smell that can detect a seal from nearly 20 miles away, on the silent, stealthy patience of a stalker, and on explosive bursts of power to close the distance. Its massive paws, covered in rough papillae and non-retractable claws, act as snowshoes and ice picks, providing unparalleled traction on the treacherous shifting ice. Every ounce of its energy is a precious commodity, and every hunt is a calculated risk. A failed attempt not only means a lost meal, but also a significant expenditure of vital reserves. A dangerous gamble in an environment where the next opportunity could be days or even weeks away. The bear's strategy is one of precision and opportunism, a constant search for the path of least resistance to secure its next meal. It is a master of its domain, a ghost in the snow, moving with a purpose dictated by the gnawing ache of hunger and the ancient rhythms of the ice. Conversely, the walrus embodies the concept of collective defensive strength. Its massive body, weighing well over a ton, is a fortress of blubber and thick, wrinkled hide, providing insulation against the biting cold of both the air and the water. While it may appear slow and cumbersome on land, it is a surprisingly agile and powerful swimmer. It's perfectly at home in the frigid Arctic waters. Its most defining features, the long ivory tusks, are incredibly versatile. They are used to haul its immense bulk onto ice floes, to forage for clams and other mollusks on the seabed, and, most importantly, as a formidable defense against predators. A walrus rarely faces a threat alone. They congregate in large, noisy groups called haulouts, creating a formidable wall of flesh, blubber, and ivory. The safety of the herd and the immediate proximity to the water are its greatest assets. An individual walrus caught unawares on the ice, far from the safety of its companions or the refuge of the sea, is vulnerable. But within the group, surrounded by 100 vigilant eyes and a forest of sharp tusks, it is a nearly impregnable force. Its survival strategy is rooted in community, vigilance, and the sanctuary of the ocean. Therefore, when these two titans meet, the encounter is defined not by a simple predator-prey dynamic, but by a complex interplay of instinct, caution, and the ever-present influence of the harsh Arctic environment itself. It is a meeting of two different survival philosophies, the solitary, strategic hunter versus the communal, defensive fortress. The outcome is never predetermined, hanging precariously in the balance shaped by the unique circumstances of the moment, the condition of the ice, the distance to the water, the age and experience of the bear, and the alertness of the walrus herd. This is not a clash of mindless brutes, but a tense strategic assessment. A silent negotiation conducted in the universal language of survival, where every movement and every moment of hesitation carries immense weight. The wind, a relentless sculptor of this frozen world, sweeps across the vast white landscape, carrying with it the scent of salt and the deep guttural calls of the herd. A polar bear, a lone figure of concentrated power, moves with a steady, deliberate gait along the edge of the sea ice. Its head is low, its black nose twitching, constantly sampling the air. Its senses are razor-sharp, attuned to the subtle signs of life that break the monotony of the ice and snow. It is not just searching, it is reading the environment, interpreting the story told by the wind, the cracks in the ice, and the distant sounds that echo across the frozen plains. The presence of the walrus haulout has not gone unnoticed. It is an opportunity, but one fraught with extreme danger. The bear's movements are a study in controlled energy, a perfect illustration of caution fused with intent. Not far from the bear's patient patrol, a massive walrus rests among its kin. The herd is a living island of warmth and sound, a stark contrast to the silent, frozen world around it. The walrus is alert, yet outwardly calm, its great head occasionally lifting to survey its surroundings before settling back down. Its breath plumes in the frigid air, rising in soft transient clouds that dissipate against the pale, unforgiving light of the Arctic sky. There is a palpable sense of security within the group, a shared vigilance that allows for moments of rest. Yet this calm is a fragile one. The scent of the approaching predator, carried on the same wind that chills their hides, keeps them on a knife's edge of awareness. Both the solitary bear and the communal walrus remain acutely aware of each other. They are locked in a tense dialogue, reading every subtle shift in movement, every sound carried on the wind, every nuance of posture. It is a silent, psychological battle where the bear's probing presence is met by the walrus's unblinking caution. The vast, silent Arctic seems to hold its breath, waiting for the delicate balance to tip. The bear closes the distance, its approach a masterpiece of calculated deliberation. Each step is placed with immense care, its massive paws distributing its weight as it tests the integrity of the ice beneath. It uses the terrain to its advantage, moving behind ridges of snow and pressure-cracked ice, attempting to mask its approach and get as close as possible without triggering a panic. A stampede would be disastrous for its hunt, sending its potential meal into the one place it cannot follow, the deep, dark safety of the ocean. Its goal is to sow confusion, to isolate an individual, preferably a smaller or weaker one, from the formidable protection of the herd. The tension is a physical thing, a tightening in the air that precedes a storm. In response to the bear's encroaching presence, the walruses stir. Heads lift in unison, dark eyes fixing on the white predator. A low, rumbling growl ripples through the herd, a collective warning. The walrus nearest the edge of the ice floe, the one most directly in the bear's path, responds with a specific, defensive action. It lifts its heavy head high, displaying the full, intimidating length of its ivory tusks. It carefully repositions its massive body, turning to face the threat directly while ensuring it has a clear, unimpeded path to the water's edge. It is not an act of aggression, but a clear signal of readiness. It is a declaration that it is aware, it is prepared, and it will not be taken easily. The creature is ready to retreat to the safety of its aquatic element if the bear presses its advantage too far. Snow, kicked up by the relentless wind, drifts around them in ghostly veils, momentarily obscuring and then revealing the two adversaries. They are locked in a silent standoff, a moment of pure, primal evaluation. The bear assesses the walrus's size, the length of its tusks, its proximity to the water, and the defensive posture of the surrounding herd. The walrus evaluates the bear's commitment, its speed, and its angle of attack. It is a complex, instantaneous calculation of strength versus strength, of distance versus reaction time, of hunger versus the instinct for self-preservation. This tense, silent duel is shaped entirely by instinct, a deep evolutionary respect for the formidable power of the other. It is a moment where the raw, untamed spirit of the Arctic is laid bare, a world where survival is a game of inches and seconds, of courage and calculation. In the end, survival in the high Arctic is a far more nuanced affair than simple dominance or brute force. It is a profound and intricate dance with the environment itself. It is less about the climactic battle and more about the wisdom of knowing when to engage, the prudence of knowing when to conserve precious strength, and the strategic foresight of knowing when to simply walk away. For the polar bear, a failed attack on a healthy adult walrus could result in a fatal goring from those ivory tusks, or at the very least, a catastrophic expenditure of energy with no reward. For the walrus, standing its ground unnecessarily when the sanctuary of the ocean is just feet away is a risk not worth taking. Their interaction is a testament to a deeper understanding, an innate knowledge that in this land of scarcity, energy is the ultimate currency, and wasting it is a form of suicide. They are not just adversaries, they are fellow survivors, each perfectly sculpted by the same unforgiving pressures of their shared frozen world. Their lives are a continuous lesson in adaptation, a story written not in blood and conflict, but in the quiet, resilient wisdom of enduring. Which Arctic giant do you think adapts better to this frozen world? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more cinematic wildlife stories.